On Thursday morning, the New York Court of Appeals, the state's highest court, rejected another one of Donald Trump's attempts to appeal the gag order. Now, the order prevents Trump from speaking about court staff, prosecutors, or their families. So now, Judge Merchan, had previously said that the order would be lifted after Donald Trump is sentenced, which was supposed to happen on the 18th of September. However, Merchan pushed that sentencing off to November 26th, which of course is after the election. So a lot of people are like, hey, that's a huge win for Donald Trump. He doesn't get sentenced before the election. Now, in his decision, Judge Merchan wrote that the case demands a, quote, sentencing hearing that is entirely focused on the verdict of the jury. Their verdict must be respected and addressed in a manner that is not diluted by the enormity of the upcoming presidential election. Now, Merchan also argued that it was necessary to avoid any appearance, however unwarranted, that the proceeding has been affected by or seeks to affect the approaching presidential election in which the defendant is a candidate. So, I still think it's a win for Donald Trump having his sentencing pushed back after the election, because that was his plan all along, to push back all the different court cases so that it doesn't impact the election. If he becomes president, he can make a lot of these cases disappear. Now, he can't make the state case disappear because it's a state case, but he can make a lot of the federal cases disappear. Now, as far as the election goes, it just wouldn't look good. I guess for certain people, MAGA doesn't care, but it wouldn't look good for a presidential candidate to be a sentenced criminal. So that said, that's why I think it's a win that it got delayed, the sentencing. But anyway, since that sentence was delayed, the gag order had to be extended as well because, you know, it was supposed to be until the sentence was delivered. And since Trump couldn't help but to go after court staffers, prosecutors, as well as members of Merchan's family, had to be extended. Now, the current gag order, however, does not prevent Trump from speaking about Merchan himself or Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who had brought the indictment against him in the first place. Now, that said, Trump's team, his campaign still appealed, claiming that he is not able to respond to Kamala Harris's attacks about his criminal record. Now, she's basically just mentioned he's a convicted criminal, which is fair because that's the truth. So now that said, he can still talk about the merits of the case if he wanted to, but maybe he can, but wouldn't be a good idea because the only thing that he can actually claim from this is that the trial was all political. But in order to make that case, he's got to personally attack the prosecution, the judge, court staffers, and their families. And so all of that is covered by the gag order. So he can't actually talk about that. And he can't actually talk about the merits because the merits don't look for him, good for him, because the fact remains he paid off a porn star in order to hide an affair in an election year for political reasons. I mean, that's very, very clear. That is an illegal campaign contribution, period. Nobody cares that he had an affair. I don't care. People don't care. No, in this case, what people cared about was the cover-up, which was worse than the crime. You cooked the books, okay, in order to cover this up, claiming them as, they're just legal expenses to Michael Cohen. That's all they were. No, it wasn't. No, it's the normal thing that people have to. No, nothing about this is normal. Nothing. It's election interference. But and again, Trump wouldn't need to lift the gag order to accurately talk about the case if he was actually going to be honest about what happened. No, the reason he wants the gag order is so that he can go on Truth Social, okay, and lie. That's really it.
Truth essential.
That's it. Just go and lie and say terrible things about the prosecutor, the judge, and his family. And again, he can go after Alvin Bragg, which he has already done. He can go after Judge Merchan. He can't go after his family. Can't go after random court staffers. But he can't help himself. He wants to go after all of them, intimidate them, and that's it. And of course, try to make the case to his MAGA followers, who will believe it, who eat it up, that no, this was an unfair political case by the Biden witch hunt. That's all it is. It's fake news that I actually did pay off porn star. But no, it's just a political witch hunt. We should be allowed, everybody should be allowed to pay off their mistress, porn stars that you had an affair with. And then, right before an election. No, you shouldn't. Again, that is illegal for a reason. It's campaign contributions and election interference. And so Merchan made the right decision on this one to deny his appeal to remove that gag order, even though it would be way more incriminating for Donald Trump, especially in the lead up to the sentencing. The case is already over. If he was allowed to say what's really on his mind. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.